As you go down this journey of networking, you're going to meet a lot of people, right? But it's important that you show up as someone that they're going to want to connect with. It doesn't make any difference if someone meets you if they don't want to be in your circle. And so we're going to talk about today is personal branding and how to become that person that everybody wants to be in their circle. Hi, I'm Ray Abram. If you're new to me, I'm a connection coach. I show entrepreneurs how to be known, liked, and trusted by their ideal customer. One of the challenges we have as just as human beings is we have something called blind spots. Everybody has them. You know, what we think we're presenting or how we think we're showing up is quite often not how we're actually showing up. And so, you know, for many of us, we find that, you know, there are circles we want to be in, we're not invited into, or we're not invited back. And quite often it's no fault of our own. There's just things that we all have in our personalities and our personas that, you know, maybe turn people off. It doesn't make you a bad person. It just means that you're unaware. And the really cruel joke is that the people close to us sometimes won't tell us. Or if somebody does tell you really what's your problem, you don't want to listen because you believe that person is just jealous, that's telling you they're jealous or they're angry at you. And these type of communications are given out of anger quite often. And so we dismiss them or discount the facts. And sometimes the things you think are the reasons why people don't want to connect with you are not really the reasons. And so I want to dive into some of them. There's a test you can take. Many people have not heard of it, but it's really a wonderful test. It's called the Johari window. It was invented by a couple of psychologists back in the 60s. What it is very simple. There's a list of about 60 words like happy, funny, silly, serious, angry, you know, descriptor words that you would maybe use as you describe yourself or other people would use to describe you. And so there's an online version of it where you select 5 words that you think would describe you perfectly, right? And then, this is the key, you send that same test to 3 or 4 people who know you really well and ask them to pick their 5 words. And then when they've done that, their side of it, the computer kind of creates a chart that shows you, you know, the words that you picked and that everyone else picked, and that's your known. That's what you know and what everybody else knows. But then, interestingly enough, it will show you the words that other people picked that you did not pick. And that's your blind spot. And then it goes on to show you words that you picked that no one else picked. And that's the things that are inside of you that you think you're showing, that you think, maybe you think you're funny and nobody picked funny. Maybe you think that you're confident and nobody picked confident, right? So it gives you kind of visibility into how people perceive you and how that may be different from how you perceive yourself or how you think other people perceive you. Then also there's something which I follow. It's called the Big 5 traits. It's a psychological construct that talks about the 5 different items that people will be able to judge or that your personality is judged on. And I got some notes over here, so I'll look over and read my notes from time to time. But number 1 is extroversion, or, you know, which is the opposite of introversion. So how extroverted are you? Do you like being in crowds? Do you like being around people? Or are you introverted? You like being by yourself and, you know, kind of thinking before you speak. Agreeableness, and this is just your ability. Do you agree with things generally? You know, if everybody's like, hey, we're going here, come along, or, you know, when the conversation turns toward politics or religion, are you that person who just kind of agrees, or you're that person who never agrees with anything? And I have some friends, and you may have some as well, who just like being contrary. Whenever somebody, even the whole group, feels a certain way, there's some people who always seem to go against the grain. So agreeableness. Then the next one, number 3, is openness to experience. Right? Are you the type of person who likes to try new things? Do you always go to different restaurants, or like to travel to different places, or meet new people? Or you're the type of person who likes to do the same thing every day? Do you just get that whenever you go to the restaurant, you go to the same restaurant, you order the same meal, get the same drink, you're just a regular? And so how open are you to experience? Fourth one is conscientiousness. How much do you care if you're seen as someone who does a good job? So are you conscientious? When you do something or you're responsible for something, do you make sure that it gets done? How conscientious are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Then neuroticism, and that is also kind of anxiousness, moodiness, if you're not this person, I'm sure someone else who is either very moody, very anxious. I think of George Costanza on Seinfeld is a prime example of that. Just somebody who's always thinks the worst. Right. So if that's you, where do you fall on that scale? So those are the 5, and we all fall somewhere on each one of those categories, right? Are you a 1 or are you a 10? And so as you think about that, you can mark where you are, and if you want to be move the needle, now you have some information on how to, or where the needle should be moved. Maybe you are a little neurotic. Maybe that turns people off. I think about, again, George Costanza. He would be very difficult to be friends with, right? He would be very difficult to have in my circle. So maybe he could work on that, so to speak. So maybe you want to be more open to experience, but you've just never had the language to address it. So those are some things you can do to do. So in the comments below, actually it would be kind of fun, I think, if there's one of the items that you think that you could work on, put it in the comments. I'd be interested in kind of seeing if it's extroversion, agreeableness, openness, conscientiousness, or neuroticism. Which one of those 5 you think you could use a tweak on. So that's it for now. I'm going to follow up with another video later that will kind of go more into how you can brand yourself personally. But take these tests and see how you come out, because once you've done that, now we can kind of work on how you develop a strong personal brand that you can use to attract people to your circle, attract mentors, sponsors, investors, people who believe in you, ambassadors, people who are always singing your praises of your business or your service or your product. So you want to figure out how to attract those people to your circle, and that's going to be your personal brand. So I know for many of you, you're like, Ray, what does this have to do with networking? A lot. So we're going to go step by step and get everything right so that you can have a powerful network that will take you where you want to go in life. So thanks again. Watch my next video. I'll talk to you soon.